Lesson 8.4 is about synthetic division. So in this case, we're going to use what's called synthetic division to divide a polynomial by a first degree binomial. So synthetic division is a way to do polynomial long division very quickly, but it only works in specific cases, and that's what it says here. Only when we're going to divide a polynomial by a binomial of the form x minus c. So whatever polynomial we have here, that can still be a binomial, a trinomial, polynomial. That doesn't matter in terms of how many terms there are there. However, we need to divide that polynomial by something of the form x minus c, where c is a constant. So this number here, that c, can be anything. It can be positive, it can be negative, but the whole point is what's here isn't ever x squared. It's not degree 2, it's not degree 3, it's never a trinomial. It's specifically this first degree binomial. So let's look at the same problem side by side. One done with long division and the other done with synthetic division. And we kind of have it color-coded here so you can see how all of these values correspond. So let's look at the long division side. We have 2x cubed minus 10x squared plus 9x plus 15. We're dividing it by x minus 3. Now the same as we did in lesson 8.3, we would say, okay, I know 2x squared times x gives me 2x cubed, multiply it through, get minus 6x squared, so on and so forth. We would subtract this, bring down our 9x, then we would keep going through. So you can see all of these steps, we have a remainder of 6. What synthetic division does is essentially just use the coefficients and constants. So you can see here where we had this 3 in blue, we've written it here. Now, when we use this little box to kind of separate it to remind ourselves that that's the term we're dividing by, each of the coefficients 2, negative 10, 9, and 15 are written in a row here. Then here's the pattern, and I'll just keep doing this on the next examples and next examples. So we bring down this first term 2. Then we multiply 2 times 3, and we'll get 6. Then we add going down. Negative 10 plus 6 is negative 4. Multiply that with 3 again, that's negative 12. Add going down, you get negative 3. Multiply that with 3 again, you get negative 9. Add, we get 6. And what we're left with, the 2, negative 4, negative 3, are the coefficients of our answer here. 2x squared, negative 4x minus 3. And you can see the last number is our remainder. So we get the same exact answer, and we're just going to keep using that pattern in all of our examples today. Okay, so for this first example, I'm going to do both long division and synthetic division, again, to just show you the similarity, and then after that, I'm just going to do synthetic division only. So if I was to do this problem, let's first do long division. So we have x cubed plus 3x squared minus 13x plus 6, and we're dividing that by x minus 2. So I know x squared times x will give me x cubed minus 2x squared. Then we're going to be subtracting, so this is minus, this is plus, and I'll be left with 5x squared, bringing down the rest, negative 13x plus 6. So that means I need to multiply by 5x now. So I'll get 5x squared minus 10x. Subtract again, that's a minus, that's a plus. So we get negative 3x, bring down plus 6. Finally, negative 3 will give us negative 3x plus 6. And subtracting in this case gives us, minus there, a remainder of 0. So now let's do that with synthetic division. So we're going to take our c value, the constant, remember x minus c, put that off to the side here. That's the number that we're going to keep multiplying with. Then I'm going to take all the coefficients of 1 here, 3, negative 13, and 6. So 1, 3, negative 13, and 6. going to put a little line here. And here's the pattern that we do every time. The first number we just carry down. The second number, we multiply this number that we have down here now with the 2. So 1 times 2 is 2. And then we add going down. So then we do 3 plus 2 is going to be 5. Back to multiplication. Take the 5, multiply it by the 2. That's 10. Now we're adding, going down. Negative 13 plus 10 is negative 3. Now we multiply again. So negative 3 gets multiplied by the 2. Negative 6. And finally we add going down one more time and we get 0. Now notice that last number, that's our remainder. We had a remainder of 0. We have a remainder of 0 here. Now the way that we translate this 1, 5, negative 3 into our answer is those are just coefficients. So we need to go back and make this a polynomial. The degree of this first term is always going to be 1 less than the degree you started with. So if this was the coefficient of x cubed, this is going to be the coefficient of x squared. So we have 1x squared, and then it'll just be by decreasing degree. So then x to the first, and then just your constant, which you can see matches what we did when we got long division. Okay, now I'm just going straight to using synthetic division. That's the whole point of this, is that it's really nice and quick. So we take our c value, when it's x minus c, our c is that 3, and we copy down the coefficients. So we have 2, negative 4, negative 7, 5. Carry down the 2, multiply it with 3, we get 6. Add those, you get 2. Multiply with the 3 again, you get 6. Add those going down, negative 1. Multiply with the 3 again, you get negative 3. Add those going down, you get 2. Last number is your remainder. First number is always going to start with a degree less than the degree up here. So if this was 2x cubed, this is now going to be 2x squared. So 2x squared plus 2x minus 1 with remainder of 2. So just like when we do long division, we'll put 2 over x plus 3. Okay, one more here. Let's do long division, synthetic division. So x minus c, our c value is 4. Now we'll take the coefficients of these terms here. So we have 2x to the 4th. Notice there isn't an x cubed. You need to fill that with a 0 because there's 0x cubed. Then negative 12x squared, then 2x, then negative 8. Now we can start. Bring down the 2, multiply that with 4 for 8. Add 0 plus 8, that's 8. Multiply the 8 with the 4 again, that's 32. Add those for 20. Multiply with 4 again, get 80. Add those for 82. Multiply with the 4 again and get 328. Add those, get 320. So that first 2 is going to have a 1 degree less than what we started with, which was 2x to the 4th. So it's 2x cubed plus 8x squared plus 20x plus 82 with a remainder of 320 over x minus 4. So we're going to go ahead and move on to homework. I do want to say one more thing, though, now that I'm looking at my examples, and that is for each of these, we were always dividing by, so whatever polynomial we had, we're always dividing by x minus c. So we did an example with x minus 2. We did an example where we were dividing by x minus 3. We did an example when we were dividing by x minus 4. What happens if that was plus? So let's say we had some polynomial and we were dividing by x plus 5. Well, in that case, if you think of it in terms of x minus c, it's x minus a negative 5. So when we do our synthetic division, we're going to be using negative 5 as that multiplier with each term. So that's something to look out for on the homework. This is homework 8.4. You can see that on Schoology.